good Old Testament, the first entry in the Christian cinematic universe. Jesus isn't in this one. It's mainly about his bad-tempered dad.
Why did God make a creature of such rotten stuff that it went wrong? The better stuff a creature is made of, the cleverer and stronger and freer it is. Then the better it will be if it goes right. But also the worse it will be if it goes wrong.
I'm going to go straight in at the deep end. Is there a God?
Yes.
Oh, that was quick. Has anyone proved it?
No, except to their own satisfaction.
Does God have a brother called Simon?
No.
But they can't prove that either, so he might have. The universe could have been created by Simon.
Well, you've raised a very significant question about the nature of providence.
Have I?
You have indeed. If we believe in a good God, why is there so much evil in the world? To what extent can one blame God for that?
God created things which had free will. That means creatures which can go either wrong or right. Why then did God give them free will? Because free will, though it makes evil possible, is also the only thing that makes possible any love or joy worth having. A world of automata, of creatures that work like machines, would hardly be worth creating. If God thinks this state of war in the universe a price worth paying for free will, then we may take it is worth paying. You make a thing voluntary, and then half the people do not do it. That is not what you will do, but your will has made it possible.
Self-awareness, self-consciousness is the defining feature of human identity.
You have to be real careful in how you describe these things and how you talk about these things, because people are looking for any little tiny thing to discredit it.
Our brain is able to tune into the lowest dimension, the highest dimension. Humans are basically really powerful creatures that can live right close to suns. They're highly radioactive. Nothing else can live as close. We're actually a hive organism that keeps transmitting up to the next species in our hierarchical system and then down below us. And we're trying to progress and make things better. And the elites are trying to make sure that we don't dial into that incredible knowledge we've got as a species and basically die as a species so that we're not competitors on the next level, as the Bible says, of the interdimensional plane. But the big secret is, once you have a crystal ball and know the future, you can add stimuli beforehand and make decisions that control the future. And so then it's the end of consciousness and free will for individuals, as you know, and a true 2.0 in a very bad way, hive mind consciousness with an AI jacked into everyone, knowing our hopes and dreams, delivering it to us, not in some PKD wirehead system where we plug in, give them more consciousness because of unlimited pleasure, but because we were already wired in and absorbed before we knew it by giving over our consciousness to the system, our daily decisions, that it was able to manipulate and control into a larger system. The devil, whatever you want to call it, this interdimensional thing that gives them advanced off-world technology, the fallen one that's not of this world, is giving them advanced knowledge on how to construct these systems that have already been used before on other populations. What? That's Satan?
What are you
That's
talking
Satan.
about? I'm not sure. We're gonna go back to that. He's definitely high as fuck.
Something happened to me last Thursday when I was driving home. I had a couple of miles to go. I looked up and saw a glowing orange object in the sky to the east. It was moving very irregularly. Suddenly, there was intense light all around me, and when I came to, I was home. What do you think happened to me?
Up ahead, 20 miles, there's been several reports now of UFO activity moving what appears to be supersonic speed, kind of inland and then back over the water. We've had multiple altitude reports all the way down to about 4,000 up to flight level 550. I was wondering if you had any eyes on that out there, if you saw anything. Thank you. Multiple UFO reports. Most recent one was 50 miles west of your position over the coast. Circular red and white had reports of it, and then it would shoot up kind of a corkscrew pattern, moving at what appears to be supersonic or even hypersonic speed. 5605. First time I heard one of those reports, sir. Yeah, good entertainment. Hopefully everything's safe. 3545 along. Any chance I can throw you my number, and if you get a video of or a picture, you can send it our way. There's a lot of controllers here pretty interested in seeing what you're looking at there.
The entire UFO phenomenon is about multiple gods that fight amongst themselves and by design factionalize mankind. You know, you got to look back at ancient history and all those stories about gods that came down and did this and that. It's all true. The government is very aware that this intelligence is pitting different countries against each other based on religion. The phenomenon is not used. Alien is not used. It's the others. They are gods. The little g. It's a scary scenario. Our government knows that the others are instigating war amongst mankind. It's a multiple front war that we're fighting because now we have to worry about each other and we have to worry about the others.
like to go to sleep and never wake up? And if you think long enough about that, something will happen to you. You will find out, among other things, what was it like to wake up after having never gone to sleep? That was when you were born. And you begin to be aware, too, that the discords of your life, the discords of people's life, which are a fight at one level, at a higher level of the universe, are healthy and harmonious. Doesn't it really astonish you that you are this fantastically complex thing? And that you're doing all of this and you never had any education in how to do it? You never learned, but you're this miracle. Because in order to understand what the self is, you have to remember that it doesn't need to remember anything. In other words, we all know very well that after people die, other people are born. And they're all you. Only you can only experience it one at a time. Everybody is I. You all know you're you. And wheresoever beings exist throughout all galaxies, it doesn't make any difference. You are all of them.
This is the moment we've all been waiting for. Make your mind up time! And when this war is over, when you have a homeland free from humans, what do you think it's going to be like? Do you know? Have you thought about it? Have you given it any consideration? Because you're very close to getting what you want. What's it going to be like? Paint me a picture. Are you going to live in houses? Do you want people to go to work? Will there be holidays? Oh, will there be music? Do you think people will be allowed to play violins? Who's going to make the violins? Well, you don't actually know, do you? Because, like every other tantruming child in history, you don't actually know what you want. So let me ask you a question about this brave new world of yours. When you've killed all the bad guys, and when it's all perfect and just and fair, when you have finally got it exactly the way you want it, what are you going to do with the people like you? The troublemakers. What is it that you actually want? Listen to me, listen. I just want you to think. You just want cruelty to beget cruelty. You're not superior to people who were cruel to you. You're just a whole bunch of new cruel people. A whole bunch of new cruel people being cruel to some other people who'll end up being cruel to you. The only way anyone can live in peace is if they're prepared to forgive. Why don't you break the cycle? And nobody wins for long. The wheel just keeps turning. So come on, break the cycle. Because I want to get you to see, and I'm almost there. This is a scale model of war. Every war ever fought right there in front of you. Because it's always the same. When you fire that first shot, no matter how right you feel, you have no idea who's going to die. You don't know whose children are going to scream and burn. How many hearts will be broken? How many lives shattered? How much blood will spill until everybody does what they're always going to have to do from the very beginning? Sit down and talk! You're all the same, you screaming kids, you know that? Look at me, I'm unforgivable. Well, here's the unforeseeable. I forgive you. After all you've done, I forgive you. Thank you. Thank you.
As the proverb says, tomorrow never comes.
There is no such thing as tomorrow. There never will be, because time is always now. Now it's amazing what doesn't exist in the real world. For example, in the real world, there aren't any things, nor are there any events. That doesn't mean to say that the real world is a perfectly featureless blank. It means that it is a marvelous system of wiggles. In which we descry things and events in the same way as we would pick out particular groups of stars in the sky and call them constellations, as if they were separate groups of stars. Well, they're groups of stars in the mind's eye, in our system of concepts. They are not out there as constellations, already grouped in the sky. So in the same way, the difference between myself and all the rest of the universe is nothing more than an idea. It is not a real difference. And meditation is the way in which we come to feel our basic inseparability from the whole universe. And what that requires is that we shut up. That is to say, that we become interiorly silent. It's unlike almost all other things that we do, except perhaps making music and dancing. Because when we make music, we don't do it in order to reach a certain point, such as the end of the composition. The journey itself is the point. When we play music, the playing itself is the point. And exactly the same thing is true of meditation. Meditation is the discovery that the point of life is always arrived at in the immediate moment. It's a kind of grooving with the eternal now, and brings us into a state of peace where we can understand that the point of life, the place where it's at, is simply here and now. And cease from the interminable chatter that goes on inside our skulls. Because you see, most of us think compulsively all the time. That is to say, we talk to ourselves. And I remember when I was a boy, we had a common saying, talking to yourself is the first sign of madness.
I merely wish to be a dream and not a nightmare, to inspire won't he open his eyes? Is he still in the nightmare?
That is right. And you became exactly what that sigil on your back represents. A dream eater.
Me? I'm a dream eater?
Correct. But you failed to protect him. After all your efforts to command the darkness and protect those you cherish, it is a shame you locked that power away in the end.
Except, it's not over.
So you understand what to do. Set the darkness in you free, and you can rescue your friend.
The darkness stole your heart. Don't you see? That's half the reason I'm even on this journey. After allowing darkness into my heart, even after locking you away, here you are, haunting me again. So I get it now. There's no point in trying to hold the darkness back.
At last, you see clearly.
You know, when I look at you, there's this memory that flashes back. A secret I said I'd keep when I was little. That's right. I'm a phony. A fake. The way I look, the way I feel, everything I remember. And even this newfound power. I thought by finding some new strength, I could finally be someone who's not at all you. Nothing changes. I'm still just empty. Everything about me is borrowed. As long as you're around, I'll never be more than a shadow. I can't go home. Not yet. It's still here. I can sense it. What are you making me choose now?
Between the road to light and the road to darkness.
I'm taking the middle road.
Do you mean the twilight road to nightfall?
No. It's the road to dawn.
Mr. President, I would not rule out the chance to preserve a nucleus of human specimens. It would be quite easy. At the bottom of some of our deeper mine shafts, radioactivity would never penetrate a mine some thousands of feet deep. And in a matter of weeks, sufficient improvements in dwelling space could easily be provided.
You mean people could actually stay down there for 100 years?
It would not be difficult, mein Führer. Nuclear reactors could provide power almost indefinitely. Greenhouses could maintain plant life. Animals could be bred and slaughtered. Then dwelling space for several 100,000 of our people could easily be provided. Could easily be accomplished with a computer. And the computer could be set and programmed to accept vectors from youth, health, sexual fertility, intelligence, and a cross-section of necessary skills. Also it would be absolutely vital that our top government and military men be included to foster and impart the required principles of leadership and tradition.
But look here, Doctor, wouldn't this nucleus of survivors be so grief-stricken and anguished that they envy the dead and not want to go on living? Sir? There would be no shocking memories? Prevailing motion will be one of nostalgia for those left behind. Combined with a spirit of old curiosity for the adventure ahead.
I must confess, you have an astonishingly good idea there, Doctor.
Thank you, sir.
We're not what you'd call human. We are formless. Over the past 200 years, a kind of consciousness formed layer by layer in the crucible of the White House. As long as this nation exists, so will we. We are the very discipline and morality that Americans invoke so often. How can anyone hope to eliminate us? The mapping of the human genome was completed early this century. The evolutionary log of the human race lay open to us.
We started with genetic engineering, and in the end, we succeeded in digitizing life itself.
It's time for the final exercise.
This is what I mean when I'm talking about time and death and futility. There are broader ideas at work, mainly what is owed between us as a society for our mutual illusions. They welcomed it right there in the last instant. An unmistakable relief. Either they were afraid, and now they saw for the very first time how easy it was to just let go.
Seem a bit of a shame.
Well, it does seem to be a particularly popular human activity. Maybe it's just in our nature.
What makes us as creatures turn on each other like that?
Fear, honour and interest.
Really? Those are the three?
That's it in a nutshell. British have got nuclear weapons and have recently indeed decided to increase the number of warheads that they possess.
Yeah, but they're blanks, aren't they? They're full of blanks.
No, not at all. No, these are fully capable missile systems with nuclear warheads. Many other states have them. I'm afraid that nuclear war and total nuclear destruction remains very much with us.
This is essentially just a killing zone, a very dangerous zone in between trench systems.
Right, can we talk about something a bit more cheerful?
Anything you like.
Do you like ABBA?
I love ABBA.
What's your favourite ABBA song?
Dancing Queen.
Dancing Queen. Yeah, it's great, isn't it?
Isn't something we invented. It's observable, powerful. Maybe it means something more, something we can't yet understand. Maybe it's some evidence, some artifact of a higher dimension that we can't consciously perceive. But maybe we've spent too long trying to figure all this out with theory. Love is the one thing we're capable of perceiving that transcends dimensions of time and space. Maybe we should trust that, even if we can't understand it yet. And that makes me want to follow my heart.
I don't want to rule or conquer anyone. I should like to help everyone if possible. Jew, Gentile, black man, white. We all want to help one another. Human beings are like that. We want to live by each other's happiness, not by each other's misery. We don't want to hate and despise one another. In this world there's room for everyone, and the good earth is rich and can provide for everyone. The way of life can be free and beautiful, but we have lost the way. Greed has poisoned men's souls, has barricaded the world with hate, has goose-stepped us into misery and bloodshed. We have developed speed, but we have shut ourselves in. Machinery that gives abundance has left us in want. Our knowledge has made us cynical, our cleverness hard and unkind. We think too much and feel too little. More than machinery, we need humanity. More than cleverness, we need kindness and gentleness. Without these qualities, life will be violent, and all will be lost. The aeroplane and the radio have brought us closer together. The very nature of these inventions cries out for the goodness in men, cries out for universal brotherhood, for the unity of us all. Even now my voice is reaching millions throughout the world. Millions of despairing men, women and little children, victims of a system that makes men torture and imprison innocent people. To those who can hear me I say, do not despair. The misery that is now upon us is but the passing of greed, the bitterness of men who fear the way of human progress. The hate of men will pass, and dictators die, and the power they took from the people will return to the people. And so long as men die, liberty will never perish. Don't give yourselves to brutes, men who despise you, enslave you, who regiment your lives, tell you what to do, what to think, or what to feel, who drill you, diet you, treat you like cattle, use you as cannon fodder. Don't give yourselves to these unnatural men.
the injunction against sharing some of these human technologies to prevent them from being used in a nefarious way. The idea of compartmentalization or siloing things out of fear that they might be used by bad actors against us. I think there's a real problem that we have. Our technology has evolved. It's moving so quickly, but humanity is essentially the same. We're still warring over scarcity and the manipulation of resources and these things. We have faith, hope, and love, and love is the greatest of these. And love in its purest essence is action. And we just don't see a lot of loving action in our world today. I wonder if one of the leaps or one of the evolutions that we need to make is not so much with technology, but with ourselves. I wonder if one of the reasons that these events are occurring, these phenomena, is it to help us in our evolution as a species to realize that we are in a scale of being part of something greater? We are one human family in a plurality of worlds. Is it important that we begin to retool the way we interact with each other? And maybe in doing so, it will expand our consciousness, maybe by being more people of feeling as opposed to competition. Love your neighbor as yourself. What does that mean? It means that your neighbor is yourself. Treat your fellow human being as you would want to be treated, because your fellow human being is actually you. The all is in one and the one is in the all. We are all interconnected in this time of revelation. People need to evolve. Humanity needs to evolve. As long as some human life is valued more so than others, and people profit from the extermination or destruction of the very most precious thing that we have, which is life. Life comes from the source, our creator. And if we continue on this path, we're going to destroy ourselves, and then all of this other stuff really doesn't matter.